25 as they arrive at Hamilton.
Very few weaknesses anywhere on this Montreal team, John. They're still looking for that perfect season.
It's 19 degrees, the breeze, southwest 25, gusting to 30. That's a crosswind gusting off Lake Ontario here tonight.
Don Matthews is in his 3rd season in Montreal, and in 18 years as a head coach, no one has won more games over 200 victories for Mr. Matthews.
And this is the first go-around for Greg Marshall as a CFL head coach. The first 3 weeks looked easy. The last couple have been a challenge, but these new-look Tiger Cats are vastly improved, and the enthusiasm in Hamilton is evident on every single street corner.
This football team, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, have got to feed off that energy because it's tremendous right now in this stadium.
We were out at a Wendy's location this afternoon along with the panel, and the enthusiasm out there was absolutely terrific. And that gets us a little bit excited for another Wendy's Friday night football match here at Ivor Wynne.
Hamilton Tiger Cats have their biggest test of the season right now. Montreal Alouettes, the best team in the Canadian Football League. But you can look at it one of 2 ways if you're Hamilton. It's either a huge challenge or it's an opportunity.
And I think the Tiger Cats have to look at the opportunity here, because the Alouettes, when you look at this team and how good it has been so far and through the last 6 or 7 years, a perfect season is virtually impossible. So someone is going to have to knock off the Montreal Alouettes before this is over. Underway. Coming down at the 30 to the Tiger Cats, Craig Yeast. And what a nice return for Yeast out at the 45. Hamilton quarterback Danny McManus wants to forget the last couple of weeks, and that may be easy after a couple of hits to his head and 2 straight losses. Troy Davis is coming off his best game of the year. The Ticats running back, runner-up as offensive star of the week with over 120 yards, an average of 7.1 yards per carry. And up front, the offensive line led by Dave Hack, the key to the Tiger Cats' quick release passing game. McManus is out over the ball, decent field position beginning at the 45. Here's Davis. Huge hole for Davis. He won't make it all the way, but what a beginning for the hometown Tiger Cats. Troy Davis picking up where he left off last week.
Well, Troy Davis got this crowd into it in the first play of the game. Well blocked at the point of attack. Wayne Smith at the outside is going to do a nice job, number 59, of sealing and then trying to lead the way. Here he comes. He's got the escort. Troy Davis got this crowd in it, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats some early momentum.
It's a 50-yard gain, setting the Tiger Cats up at the 15-yard line of Montreal. Davis again, same side. About 5 yards this time.
Dwayne Butler will be the key to Danny McManus. He comes off the edge better than anybody in the CFL from the linebacking core and in the secondary. Tremendous ball hockey group, maybe the best man-to-man cover guy in the CFL is Davis Sanchez. They have to find a way to slow down Dwayne Butler.
A gain of 4, 2nd and 6 Tiger Cats. McManus, quick release on the money, Morreale. Mike Morreale inside the 5.
John, a lot of people wondering if the Hamilton Tiger Cats heading into this one really even had a chance with how dominant the Montreal Alouettes have been in the first 5 weeks of the year. For the Hamilton Tiger Cats offensively, though, they have used the big play all season long, and that's how they have had success. That's how they won 3 out of the gate. The big play can be made against this Montreal defense.
Here's an opportunity for the Tiger Cats. They really shouldn't miss. First and goal to go from the 4. Davis hammered for a loss.
Kevin Johnson I like to call Kevin Johnson Mr. A-gap. I mean, Kevin Johnson is just, he's there or he's there, depending on which way the ball is going to be run. This time it goes to the left side of the offensive formation. Kevin Johnson right there in the hole. That's how, as a linebacker, you scrape, you make the point of attack, you hit it hard, and turn the running back away. Kevin Johnson, Mr. A-gap, does it again.
Second and goal from the 5. McManus puts it up, nobody home, and no flags in the end zone. Tiger Cat fans were hoping for a call on the coverage against Archie Amerson.
Reggie Durden was in coverage on Amerson as he went down the seam, John, but I'm not sure if this ball is catchable. Watch to the right of your screen. Just a little lob pass from Danny McManus to Amerson. Is that a catchable ball? I don't think so. About 10 to 15 yards to the outside. Amerson's to the right. He's got him behind Reggie Durden. Durden slips. No question there was contact, but I don't think the ball was catchable.
Here's Jamie Borum, rookie field goal kicker for the Tiger Cats, good on 9 of 12, hitting on 75%. And the Tiger Cats miss the opportunity for 6. They settle for 3. It's Wendy's Friday Night Football from Ivor Wynn. Greg Marshall's Tiger Cats off to a good start.
Well, John, you know, you can tell that Greg Marshall, though, as good a start as that offense had, is not happy. I mean, against this Montreal football team, you have to take advantage of all your opportunities.
And the 4-yard line was there with 3 cracks at it.
Absolutely. So that's why you could tell that Greg Marshall's a little upset with the finish of that drive.
Now, the Tiger Cats need better work on special teams. That was a glaring problem last week. Coverage better this time as Ezra Landry is wrapped up after 16 yards. Quarterback Anthony Calvillo, the CFL's offensive player of the week after firing 3 touchdown passes. The Alouettes have a great receiving corps led by Ben Cahoon, who happens to lead the league with 43 receptions in 5 games. And one critical change up front as Paul Lambert moves to center to replace the All-Canadian Brian Chu, who has to sit this one out because of an injury. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Tums. Tums tackles heartburn fast. Here are the Alouettes beginning just across the 20-yard line. Calvillo brings it down, far side, and he'll get a catch. Calvillo on the money.
Both teams' first play offensively are big plays for both teams. One in the running game for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. This in the passing game to Thyron Anderson on the outside. And Thyron Anderson, with 22 catches, over 300 yards in 5 weeks, has emerged as yet another weapon in this offense for the Montreal Alouettes.
1 touchdown in the season for Anderson. Nice catch to begin. And a 25-yard gain has the Alouettes out at the 46. Denson. Wrapped up, Audrey Denson. Nowhere to go. Jason Lamar waiting for him that time.
Hamilton Tiger Cats on deep.
Loss of 4, 2nd and 14, Montreal. Calvillo has time and a target. He's got the newcomer, O'Neal Wilson. And Wilson has substantial yardage as he crosses into Tiger Cat territory. Inside the 40 there for a 32-yard gain.
2nd and long for the Hamilton defense, and what they try to do is drop off in zone. Anthony Calvillo recognizes it quickly and has to go to the underneath man. That's O'Neal Wilson. Wilson uses some speed down that sideline, pick up some yards on his own.
Wilson impressed everyone at the Alouettes training camp. Gets a starting assignment this week. After a 32-yard gain, first down. Under the cover. Anderson again. And he'll be stopped short of the first down, but positive yardage.
Tyrone Anderson seeing a lot more footballs, and a lot of that is due to the play of Ben Cahoon. Ben Cahoon on that one is going to clear out. As Ben Cahoon clears out, that opens up some room for Tyrone Anderson underneath. Ben Cahoon is going to be drawing a lot of attention from the secondary, even if it's a couple of steps by a corner or a halfback. He will take them with him, opening up his teammates.
This is 2nd and 2. A first down easily for Denson. Spins off a tackler. He's inside the 10. Audrey Denson arriving from Calgary. 319 yards and a 5.1 yard average.
Really had a breakout game, John, against Ottawa. 3 touchdowns there. You mentioned that 5.1 yard average. Anytime you're up around the 5-6 yard average, it's what you expect from that running back spot.
Gain of 20. First and goal to go. Alouettes at the Tiger Cats 9. The end zone toss, batted down. Copeland was the intended target. Rodney Heath batted it away.
And Rodney Heath may have had an interception if he recognizes it earlier. Watch how Copeland is going to go. Try and look like he's going deep and then just curl up at the goal line. And he slips when he does it. Here comes Copeland. Little slip right here. Goes down. Heath has a pick. But he recognizes a split second late and goes for the knockdown.
2nd and goal. Calvillo again to the corner this time. They call it a touchdown. He's got it. Copeland into the end zone and had 2 feet down.
Oh boy, what an adjustment to the football by Jermaine Copeland. That ball was thrown to his outside shoulder and he had to turn twice to find it. Look at Copeland go to the corner. He's looking over the left shoulder. Now he has to turn back to the right, keep his feet in bounds, and find the football. Wow.
A 9-yard toss for the touchdown. And the Alouettes bounce back in a hurry. An impressive drive finished off by the touchdown catch of Jermaine Copeland. It's Wendy's Friday Night Football from Hamilton, and the spies are everywhere. Here's John Liu.
Well, guys, if Don Matthews has the feeling that he's being watched, it's because there's 250 of these toy binoculars being trained on him. The Tiger Cats having a great time with their spy tribute night. But if you think the joke is on Matthews, guess again. Yesterday, the Don said that he thought this is a magnificent promotion. And as for the Tiger Cats' perspective, Danny McManus was jokingly encouraging the fans to steal signals from the Alouettes bench, relay them into their sidelines. So a little bit of espionage going on. Get back to you guys.
Yeah, it's not much of a story when you really think about it, but it has been fun. Greg Yeast returning for the Tiger Cats. He's to the 37 and stopped in his tracks there.
For people who maybe haven't heard, the accusations were out this week that the Montreal Alouettes had sent someone to a game in Ottawa to videotape coaches' signals, and it really is quite silly because, you know, pro athletes, first of all, have tried to find an advantage on the opponent in any way they can from the beginning of the game, and that will not stop anytime soon. But it really is, you know, quite silly and comical. But the bottom line here in Hamilton is that they use it as a promotion. They're having a whole bunch of fun with it.
Here are the Tiger Cats with a first down, 37. McManus looking deep. Got a receiver, and Flick turned the wrong way. DJ Flick
but this
almost got behind cover and was just a little off his pattern.
But this, John, is exactly what Danny McManus needs to do some of. He needs to tell the Montreal Alouettes by his actions and by his play calling that he's not afraid of them. And I think that's the bottom line. This is an intimidating, dominating defense that will send pressure and intimidate that quarterback and make him try and throw it underneath and dump it off. Danny McManus just said, hey, I'm going to go deep.
And McManus has new confidence with this receiving core this year, no doubt about it. He'll air it out again. And he has Anderson is decked at midfield. That's Kelly Malvo, the ex-Stampeder, lost his lid. And that was some kind of collision.
Oh, boy. First of all, McManus drops back, recognizes it's 3-man pressure. Montreal will disguise and often drop, and Kelly Malville comes across and puts the hammer on Archie Amerson. And that was no toy hammer.
Amerson is up, and that was Craig Yeast getting one hand on it, a little swing pass out of the backfield. But Amerson is okay and still in the game. So is Malvo okay.
Well, let's go right back one more time. Show it to you again. Amerson on the crossing pattern in the danger zone. You know one thing, gonna get hit, you might as well hang on. And by the way, Kelly Malvo will not get a penalty for having his helmet off on the field in that instance.
It's allowed when the helmet comes off due to collision, obviously. 2nd and 10, Tiger Cats. Here's the heat. Yeast had one hand on it, couldn't bring it home. Ticats will kick it away.
Yeah, and here they go. Now this is a situation for Montreal that they love defensively. 2nd and long. They get 2nd and long. Guess what they're going to do? Put Dwayne Butler back like he's a linebacker and send him off the edge. Between Dwayne Butler and Timothy Strickland getting to the quarterback, it cuts down what should be about 4 steamboats to about 2. McManus got it out of there. Craig Yeast couldn't hang on.
Live.
Here's Jason Curry back to his 40. And the Tiger Cats fail to answer that 7-play, 89-yard touchdown drive by the Alouettes. This is pretty nice. Ezra Landry and Ticats special teams much more on the ball in this one tonight. The return limited to 9. Tiger Cats scored first. A 12-yard field goal. The Alouettes answered with an impressive drive. It's 7-3 Montreal. First down, Tiger Cats just inside the 20. McManus releases in a hurry, and DJ Flick is submarined by Davis Sanchez. Went high to get it, and Sanchez took the legs out from underneath number 82.
What Montreal does defensively often will put the secondary into a bind. In other words, they put the secondary into one-on-one situations. That's why they need players the likes of Davis Sanchez back there, because you have to have guys in the secondary that you can leave alone in one-on-ones and trust that they will be able to do their job and cover for 4 seconds.
2nd and 10, Tiger Cats. McManus, open target, far side. It'll be enough for a first down as Archie Amerson hangs on. Now we'll see where they spot the ball, but it looked to me like he had it in first down territory.
I think his forward progress got him there, John. It's a type of pattern that is a timing route. You see McManus recognizing that he has to get rid of it because blitz coming from the right side of the formation. Archie Amerson trained to get right to the spot. Chris Schultz talked about it at the beginning of the show. In order to beat this Montreal defense, you will have to be absolutely precise in your route running. If the play calls for 10, get to 10.
That's exactly what Amerson delivered. Davis breaks one, breaks another. He's tough to bring down. Out to the 40. What a great run. And you look back to last year when these Tiger Cats won 1 of 18 games. This guy rushed for over 1,200 yards. He's a warrior.
Oh, he did his part. He did his part without question. 3 in the CFL, 5.3-yard average last year. And this second effort right here puts Danny McManus in a great situation right now on 2nd and short. Because when he was first contacted, it was about a 5-yard gain. The second effort got him to a couple yards away from the first down.
And they keep it on the ground again. This time it's Radlin. Julian Radlin, and he'll have the first down. Whoop. They'll take a closer look, but he should have the first down. When you look at what the Tiger Cats have to do, they have to control the football, and that means they need good yardage on first down. They got it there, and that is the final play of the opening quarter. And to begin the second quarter, McManus and the Tiger Cats. A first down at the 42. McManus goes deep. Amerson the target. Double coverage. Intercepted. Picked up by Kelly Malvo.
Make it 2 turnovers in this game now because we start the second quarter with Kelly Malville. Danny McManus had some time in the pocket and was trying to get that football to Archie Amerson running a corner to this side of the formation. See the time that is allowed out. McManus has it. Armando Curry that Dave just talked about falls off his man. Watch Amerson on this corner pattern. He is dropped by his man, Reggie Durden. They flow to the football, and Kelly Malville comes up with the second pick of the game for the Owls.
And Malville's second interception on the season. Montreal on the turnover, first down at the 40. A little confusion, maybe not. The touchdown toss. Anderson goes all the way. Thyron Anderson for the touchdown. There is a penalty marker back near the 35-yard line.
John Diedrich Mathis got caught looking into the backfield.
This one may be coming back.
Calvillo wanted to go with the shovel pass underneath. It was eliminated.
Montreal, number 87, stepped out of bounds and came back in the field of play. First down repeated.
If you're pushed out,
you can come back in.
Anderson stepped out on his own and came back, became an ineligible receiver. They get the penalty and all those yards and touchdown taken away. But Diedrich Mathis dodged a bullet because he was looking in the backfield thinking it was a running play, and he allowed his man to blow right by him, Thyron Anderson.
It'll be 1st and 20 for the Alouettes now. Back at the Montreal 30. Three receivers to the far side. Calvillo has a wide open target. Kwame Cavill all alone for yards and yards.
John, before the play, Rob Hitchcock, because of the formation, had to roll down to the wide side of the field. Hitchcock gets over here, and when he does, he has to find who's going to play free safety, so he waves over to Donovan Carter, number 2, at the bottom of your screen. You got to get back. You're the free safety now. Hitchcock plays the under route. No one is back on the deep one. Kwame Cavill is wide open.
For a 39-yard gain on 1st and 20. So here are the Alouettes threatening again. Inside the Tiger Cat 45. Calvillo looks deep. What a catch. Absolutely amazing. Jermaine Copeland laid out and brought that one in. And the coverage was tight.
Well, John Climbey just said it, folks, that if you're going to talk trash, you got to be able to walk it like you talk it, and it can come back and haunt you to where you have to watch a dance like that. Rodney Heath once more is step for step with Jermaine Copeland, but Copeland plays it perfectly when the ball arrives. In other words, as Copeland is leaning and Heath is leaning on Copeland, he gives him a subtle little push with the shoulder and then lays out to the outside for the big catch.
2 touchdowns already for Jermaine Copeland. A couple for the Alouettes and a 14-3 advantage. The faces of football on Wendy's Friday nights. Huge kick, Craig Yeast. And he's surrounded and brought down at the 21, just 16 yards on the return. Jermaine Copeland with a couple of TD catches tonight.
Nothing fancy about this one. Here's Jermaine Copeland. Here's Rodney Heath. Copeland going down the field. Now watch at the end of the play, though. Nothing fancy about the route. He's just going straight down the field. Watch the veteran move here, though. Left arm on Rodney Heath. A subtle push right there to get a yard of separation. He lays out. And right now, Rodney Heath, who was talking trash after a knockdown early, is saying, Jermaine, I take it back.
Will do. A little tape across my mouth, and I won't say anything nasty again. Ticats have to respond soon. Yeast and McManus failed to rise to the occasion there.
Congratulations to the fan in box J.
One thing the Hamilton Tiger Cats knew is that they weren't going to shut out the Montreal Alouettes. So nothing changes for Danny McManus, who's starting to struggle a little bit with some of those short throws that should be automatic. That's the concern for the Ticats right now. Those little ones.
Couple of interceptions, and the second interception cost the Ticats 7. What a catch! Archie Amerson goes up, makes the catch, takes a hit, hangs on.
But the Ticats, like every other team that's played the Alouettes, understand that they're going to score some points. They understand they're going to make their plays on defense. You just have to keep chipping away and keep it close. Amerson knows one thing. He's going to get hit. Hangs on to the football.
16 yards to pick up. A little breathing room for the Tiger Cats out at the 35. Here's the heat on McManus. Got it away. And not much after that for Troy Davis. Got the catch. Dropped from behind by Dwayne Butler.
Dwayne Butler is a little slow to get up after that. He was going to come on the blitz, then he put the brakes on because he sniffed out the screen to Troy Davis. Butler wanted to come off the edge. Here he is lined up, and then he's wide on the blitz. And then he smiles the screen coming, so he gets back and gets in on the tackle. Then he was slow to get up. We'll see if he slowed down at all.
Gain is 2. 2nd and 8. McManus has a wide open target. Yes. Out to the 45. McManus and DJ Flick.
When you play the Montreal defense as a quarterback, you have to do 3 things. Recognize the blitz. That's number 1. Know you don't have a man to cover him and recognize the blitz. Number 2, quick release. Get it out of your hands as quickly as you can. And you can make some big plays down the field because they are there. DJ Flick comes up with it. And the third thing is you have to be tough enough to take some hits because Danny McManus took a big one there.
From Kelly Malvo on a halfback blitz with a 26-yard gain. Here are the Tiger Cats. And they couldn't hook up that time. Breedlove, who had a tough time last week, was the intended receiver.
John, we talked about it in the opening, and Danny McManus not happy. He is hit hard by Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson, Mr. A-gap, here he comes again, right down the middle. Ball is thrown, and he felt that Kevin Johnson took a couple extra steps and delivered on the quarterback.
Yeah, well, he might have taken at least.
Well, John, the way that has been called this year, that's been a penalty every time, and for some reason it wasn't called there.
McManus wanted a call there. 2nd down. Over the middle, McManus, strike. Craig Yeast. But huge catch for the Tiger Cats right there.
But here's what's great about what Danny McManus has done on that throw to Craig Yeast. 1st down, more importantly, he just showed his teammates, I took 2 big hits. One from Kelly Malvo off the edge. We completed one to DJ Flick. Don't worry about me. One from Kevin Johnson down the middle. Maybe a little bit of a late hit. No problem, no flag. I'll stand in here and deliver a strike for a 1st down.
And that says a lot to the offensive line, doesn't it? A little more help for the quarterback might be appreciated. Good call here.
Oh, what a move.
Super move, but there's a flag down on the run by Troy Davis.
Oh, yeah, but what a move on Kevin Johnson. Now this is 2 tremendous football players going at it. Kevin Johnson, we've seen down in the goal line area. He made a nice hit on Troy Davis in the 1st quarter.
Montreal, number 30, decline.
Penalty against the Alouettes.
And that happens when you play against good football players. They're going to make plays. Kevin Johnson has made a couple. Troy Davis is also great. Look at this. He said, okay, now it's my turn. That's a tremendous move on Kevin Johnson.
Troy Davis, runner-up to Calvillo for Offensive Player of the Week. He gets away from another one. He'll score. Brilliant run by Troy Davis. There's a flag back at the line, however. Looked like he was stopped.
Montreal, number 30, decline.
It's going against Montreal. It'll stand. Wow.
Tremendous runs back-to-back by Troy Davis. And he ran right through one guy.
All backfield. This play looked like it had no chance. Look at Mark Magna. But the mistake Mark Magna made was he stopped his feet from moving. His feet died. He died, went down. Troy Davis with second effort got in the end zone.
We said the Tiger Cats had to respond to the second Montreal touchdown. What a drive that was. Hamilton back within 4. It's 14-10 on Wendy's Friday night.
Jermaine Copeland has a couple of touchdowns in this first half. 3 for 55. You see that big 2 on the outside. 1 on a corner route in the first quarter as he has to adjust to this football and then keep his feet in bounds.
And this is a beauty.
Nothing fancy about the route. Little push off at the end. That was second quarter TD.
Alouettes on the move out around midfield as Cahoon makes another catch for about 5 yards this time.
Remember, Anthony Calvillo didn't have the services of Jermaine Copeland through this 5-game winning streak. Copeland just in a couple of games due to a hamstring injury coming out of training camp.
Warmed up last week with 6 catches for 65 and a touchdown against Calgary. That was his second game of the season. Got it away in a hurry, and Cahoon turns this into a brilliant first down. He had yards necessary on the catch. Monte battle over to make the tackle, and then after the catch, watch what he's able to do.
You know, John, it's a big difference between a team. You see Cahoon just recognize the defense and sit down. A team defensively that knows their assignments and just takes off full speed, to a team in Hamilton defensively right now that look like they're trying to figure out their assignments on the fly.
2:25 till halftime. Alouettes are threatening again that time. Calvillo missed Cahoon. So the Tiger Cats have been second and long. Critical play here for the defense.
It is, and this is where the Montreal Alouettes and Anthony Calvillo, as he looks at the formations and plays on his wrist, have been giving some problems to
Tyron Anderson.
Boy, and that was a strike from Anthony Calvillo. That ball arrived in a heartbeat because Calvillo starts out looking in this direction, then he flips his shoulders, quickly a look off, and then look at that dart to the outside.
Close enough to measure.
In order to get your game defensively to the next level, you have to know that assignment before, as you're breaking the huddle. No matter what formation is presented to you, you have to be ready in your mind to understand your assignment. So then you can take it to the next level and execute your assignment at full speed. So far in this first half, the Ticats on a couple of occasions have scrambled to just line up properly, let alone execute. And that's causing some problems now. Because of some Alouette miscues, the score isn't out of hand. That's the good news for Greg Marshall.
Well, and the Tiger Cats have made some plays, too. An interesting drive for the touchdown. And they'll be thinking about the touchdown that got away when they were at the 4-yard line on the very first drive. They had to settle for 3. Third down. Inches necessary. Calvillo sidesteps, heads out of bounds, won't get there. He's dragged down from behind, but he'll have plenty for the first down. Hitchcock reminded him there was still a game on here.
Well, Hitchcock was really the only guy. You see, everybody's going to converge, thinking quarterback sneak, and that creates a huge pile. Calvillo just heads up, says, wait a minute, I got some room over here, and actually surprises his teammates, Tyron Anderson and Ben Cahoon.
Pick up is 5 yards. 2:10 till halftime. First and 10. Alouettes at the 21. Calvillo to his right. Missed the mark. Copeland was the target. And Heath, tight coverage on Copeland there.
Well, I think Rodney Heath has decided, you know, I'm going to do less talking and more playing. And Rodney Heath has now come up and been in pretty good position on Jermaine Copeland. Now, Copeland has the 2 touchdowns, but this is a pretty good position. Get a little physical, right in the hip pocket, and right in great spot. Copeland couldn't catch that football.
2nd and 10. Alouettes leading by 4. Montreal at the Hamilton 21. Calvillo with time. Nobody home yet. No catch.
And Donovan Carter. Oh, boy.
A little woozy.
What a collision. You could tell Ben Cajon was a little wobbly. Donovan Carter hasn't got up yet.
We've certainly seen some hits in the last 7 days in the CFL.
Renard Cox is still down. To the left of your screen, Donovan Carter drops in zone. Cajon crosses all the way across from one hash to the other. And watch this collision. Cox from behind Cajon into Donovan Carter. Carter goes down, and you could tell when a player's arms go straight up in the air, like Carter's will right now, that he's pretty much knocked out. Cox goes down, and when Cajon got up, he was wobbly. That was some kind of collision.
A 3-way. Cajon, Cox,
Donovan Carter
and Carter.
did a ton of that from the safety position last year with the Ottawa Renegades. Now he moves up to linebacker, but in that play had dropped and become a defensive back and showed us a little of that old safety play from a year ago. Ben Cajon, boy, it's amazing he's back in that huddle as well. He was in the middle of that sandwich.
Matt Kellett. First try of the night. Smooth stroke. And Kellett has his 14th field goal of the year. The Alouettes have a 1-touchdown lead. He's had a nice night. Troy Davis.
John, here, when you look at Hamilton, got to shore up a couple things on defense, make sure they have their assignments, and I think when they talk at halftime, they likely say, let's get 32 even more involved. I mean, every time Troy Davis touches the football, it seems that he has a chance to break one, and he's never being tackled by that first guy.
Over 100 in the opening half with 1:38 to go. And rattling this time, but Davis began with a great run, didn't he?
Yeah, and not only does it give the ball to Troy Davis a few more times, but it allows the Hamilton offense to attack an attacking defense.
And that's something Greg Marshall was talking about. They worked on the running game a little more extensively this week. It's paid off in the first half. McManus gets to the outside. No flags on the coverage on Breedlove on the far side. Davis Sanchez was covering him.
Demetrius Breedlove thought that Sanchez did a little grabbing over there, but no flag on the field. And, you know, if I'm a quarterback playing against the Montreal defense, I think I might just throw it to the opposite side of the field. Davis Sanchez, you know, forget about interceptions and all that stuff. He just does not give up anything.
Just a great cover.
He just will lock you down over there.
Alouettes lead by a touchdown, 2nd and 10. For McManus and the Tiger Cats, open target, picked up. DJ Flick was the intended receiver. And Reggie Durden had it, but he stepped out way back near the 46. So 3 interceptions fired by McManus in the first half. I thought that Flick might have made a better play on that.
Well, he could have helped Danny McManus out a little bit. He didn't think, McManus, that Reggie Durden was going to be able to travel as far as he did. Reggie Durden came from a deep coverage situation, went right to the football, and he got there in a hurry.
Well, there was a nice defensive play by Durden, who read it well.
But this one hurts in some ways, because even if Hamilton punts, you're looking back at the 20-30-yard line, maybe not enough time for Calvillo. Now he's got plenty of time for another score.
Yeah, minute 6 till halftime. Fakes it once, Calvillo. confusion back there. Lapointe was the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Pretty good play down here by Diedrich Mathis and Renard Cox. Remember, Cox was knocked a little woozy on that last play. Mathis on the corner. Both got the hook and goes. Ben Cahoon and Thyron Anderson try to double move on him. Try to run that curl and then go. Pump fake from Calvillo. And neither one of them bought it.
Alouettes lead the Tiger Cats by a touchdown. Calvillo got it away, but it will not be going for a first down. A gang of Tiger Cats surround O'Neal Wilson.
You're the Montreal Alouettes going in at halftime. Got to do a couple things on offense. Make sure you're okay up front for the offensive line. Remember, they've had to make some changes because when they've hurt themselves, it's usually been because it's them against them. Now, Hamilton, I'm not taking anything away from their intensity. They have made some plays, but snap that went over Calvillo's head, some penalties that taken away first downs, a penalty that took away a touchdown down here in the first quarter. So that's what Montreal offensively needs to talk about. In defense, they're just doing their thing.
Under a minute to go. And the Alouettes will take as much time off the clock as possible. It ticks down to 34 before Kellett gets behind this one. Greg East draws a flag, and we'll take a quick timeout just prior to the half. Penalty marched off against the Alouettes. What can Danny McManus do with 24 seconds?
2 quick first downs, 2 quick throws. He can get in field goal position. That's what he can do.
Ticats from the 45. McManus popped twice. Morreale, what a play! Mike Morreale, couple of fine catches tonight. They're in field goal range.
There's one quick throw. There's one quick throw, and a big catch is going to come right across here from Mike Morreale because he has to reach back, and I think he brings it in with one hand. Well, he gets 2 on it there. Now he reaches over with the right hand, pulls it in, and then takes off running. There's one quick throw.
14 seconds till a half. McManus goes to the far side. He's got Amerson. Amerson breaks a tackle inside the 20. And now 4 seconds remain. He can't get to the end zone.
He can't, John, and there's only 4 seconds now, so it's decision time for Greg Marshall. He's got to put the field goal team on right now because he doesn't have chance for a second play. If he goes for the end zone now, he will only get 1 shot. If they don't make it, they come away with no points. He'll call a timeout, make sure they're okay. You get 1 per half, use it now. But field goal team has got to be on the field right now.
No matter which way you look at it, make this field goal for the Tiger Cats in the first half is a moral victory for Hamilton.
Oh, first of all, you got to look at the intensity. The Hamilton Tiger Cats have come and matched the intensity of Montreal. Sure, Montreal's made some plays. Jermaine Copeland, a couple of touchdowns. You knew that was going to happen. So did Greg Marshall. But they've hung around. They're battling back, and they're now making some plays offensively.
Jamie Borman. Borman is in, and flags are down. Zeros on the clock. We'll have to rethink this.
I think Montreal may have had too many men on the field. I did a quick count. I thought I got to 13.
You and I really need calculators for quick counts, though, don't we?
We do. Now let's see. Did the referees have any doubt that there was a penalty?
Too many players. Montreal declined. Field goal penalty.
Yeah, and there was no doubt. They all did the math. They all counted, and it was like 1, 2, 3. They're all gone. That's great.
3 flags flying in slow motion. Count 3 more for the Tiger Cats. An entertaining first half. Great crowd. A little video proof there that life's better on Fridays. The Faces of Football on TSN. I thought a very entertaining opening half, Glenn.
Football, John, is a game of controlled violence, and we saw a ton of it in that first half. Lots of big hits all over the field, and I expect we'll see a ton more in the second.
A little smash mouth football.
Big hits all over the board, and Greg Marshall's football team down 4 to this Montreal Alouettes squad that has been dominant in 5 weeks, has a golden opportunity in front of them. They are down 4 points against the best team in the league and in striking distance.
And the Tiger Cats get their hands on the football first in the second half. This is pretty nice out across the 45 on the return by Craig Yeast. 25 yards, and McManus has field position.
Well, when you look at the numbers, Anthony Calvillo had the better half, completion percentage much better than Danny McManus, but McManus hung around, especially the interceptions and touchdown categories. No question Calvillo had the better half between the two, but he only has a 4-point lead.
One of the interceptions led directly to a Montreal touchdown. From the 50, McManus, quick release. Montreal with a huge catch to end the first half. Comes up with the first of the second.
Montreal had the big catch to end the first half, set him up into field goal range to get it to within 4, and might go to Montreal a little bit more if Montreal drops out of there, plays more of that zone defense, plays right into Morreale's hands because he can recognize defense in a hurry.
DJ Flick flanks to the near side with 2 other Tiger Cat receivers. McManus looks this way. Got a little anxious and one-hop that for Craig Yeast.
I think someone got a hand on that football. That didn't look like it was a bad throw by McManus. It looked like it was just tipped. Blitz coming off the edge. It was Timothy Strickland and Kelly Malville. This time Montreal going with more pressure, this time from the secondary.
Jason Curry stands in at his 41. Ezra Landry deep for the Alouettes inside his 10. Pretty nice punt. Landry on the dead run. This little speedster can fly. 16 on the return after a 35-yard punt. And Thomas led the tacklers for the Tiger Cats.
Congratulations to
This guy has been the most consistent quarterback in the CFL over the last 4 years.
Well, last year his best at 5,891 with 37 touchdowns. But you're right, when you look at consistency, and that's what you want from every position on the field, especially quarterback, Anthony Calvillo has been #1.
Outstanding player in Canadian football in 2003. Calvillo begins just shy of the 35. Audrey Denson. Tim Cheatwood was there. And Denson's gain is limited.
So far, the Montreal Alouettes, when they've gotten 2nd and long and in this position in passing downs, they put Ben Cahoon with Thyron Anderson into the short side of the field. And they've been working in that combination. Cahoon with his speed getting down the field, and the defense is drawn to him, so he's opened up some things for Anderson. It's a key situation for them again.
O'Neal Wilson, Jermaine Copeland near side. Calvillo to the far side of the field, looking deep. Picked off. What an outstanding interception by Hitchcock. A flag went down as Hitchcock went flying through the air.
Yeah, I think
in fact there are 2.
It's not going to matter. Renard Cox was running down the field with Thyron Anderson, who is slow to get up. First of all, again, in a crucial situation, Anthony Calvillo goes to the short side of the field and to the combination of Ben Cahoon and Thyron Anderson. And the penalty is going to be at the end here as Anderson tries to cut back in. He is held up by Renard Cox.
Hamilton, number 24. First down.
Unbelievable interception from Rob Hitchcock, will not count. He traveled a long way to get there, too.
So the Alouettes will gain 32 yards as a result of the penalty. From the 45 of Hamilton. Denson. Tough running inside for about 5.
Hamilton Ticats have done a nice job against Autry Denson. Coming into this game, the Ticats versus the run ranked 2nd in the CFL with Johnny Scott, Joe Mumford, and Tim Sheewood up there. Cavis Reed knows the importance of trying to put his defense in 2nd and long. And if you want to get in 2nd and long, you have to control the run game defensively.
This is 2nd and 4. Calvillo has a strike, and that'll be good for a first down. Cahoon again.
He's the first target Calvillo will look to in 2nd down situations, and why not?
Well, he's the leading receiver in the CFL. 114 consecutive games. Top Canadian the last 2 years. All Canadian in 99.
Well, in his last 2 years, he's averaged over 1,300 yards.
And in the last 4 games, he's had receptions for over 100 in each one.
And you can tell when Anthony Calvillo looks that way and Ben Cahoon's on that side, defenders are just drawn to him. Jamonte Battle on that last play bubbled deep because he saw Ben Cahoon flash across his face. Cahoon's going to go here, and to the left of your screen, you're going to see Jamonte Battle, number 28. He's going to flash here. He comes up, and he's deeper. See, he flashed in front of you there, opens up underneath to Copeland.
So Copeland comes up a little shy, but Denson will finish off this first down march.
Okay, that's all.
2nd and a couple, no flags anywhere. The Alouettes continue this drive.
But again, John, if you're Hamilton, you're looking at this situation as when you play a football team as well coached and as talented as the Montreal Alouettes are, you get opportunities in the game where you can get them, where you can beat them, where you can make your plays. Rob Hitchcock has an interception, and Danny McManus comes on the field. It's taken away, and now Montreal is knocking on the door.
Denson forced to the outside, still on his feet, spinning. A long run for limited yardage. He has about 2. Jamonte Battle finally stopped him.
2 big boys inside, Johnny Scott and Devin Finn. Devin Finn right here has done a nice job in for Adriano Belli. Look at the push he gets. He's going to go along the line of scrimmage, then gets the penetration and bubbles Autry Denson. Now he's in trouble. Now it's pursuit from the Ticats. They're going to run him down. Big shoes to fill. Adriano Belli injured, and Finn now out in a passing down.
Devin Finn in for him. Shotgun for Calvillo on 2nd and 8. Autry Denson hammered from behind.
Yeah.
By Matt Petz.
I love the hustle. Matt Petz gets a chance to go in for a rep or 2. Tremendous hustle on the backside because he never quit. And as Autry Denson was bouncing around trying to look for some extra yards, he hustled down and caught him from the backside.
Still sorting out the penalty.
Offside, Hamilton, number 53. 2nd down repeated.
So Montford got caught.
It looks like Joe Mumford is offside on every play, but that's just how quick he is.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the quickness of 53. Safeties everywhere on the sidelines love a night like tonight, don't they?
Gotta love this game, don't you? It's not for the faint of heart.
No, and you gotta love it after you're out of it, right?
Well, it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Unless you're the hit-E.
You want to be the hammer, not the nail. You taught me that. Second down for the Alouettes. And the Tiger Cat defense will hold, forcing Montreal into a field goal try.
Jermaine Copeland wanted to run what's called a bang route. You go into the middle, and then you spin around and come back to the outside on Rodney Heath. But it's a timing pattern. See, there's Jermaine Copeland into the middle, bang back out to the outside, stumbled a bit, and the ball was thrown early from Calvillo, so the timing was off.
A 19-yard field goal try for Matt Kellett. He's got it. So the Alouettes lead by a touchdown once more. It's Wendy's Friday Night Football from high tension here in Hamilton tonight. Let's go down to John Lou.
Well, guys, the Montreal Alouettes defense has suffered a blow. Butler is on the sidelines wearing a jacket. Shoulder pads are off, and with the veil of secrecy surrounding the team, no information is being given, but it's looking very much like starting linebacker Wayne Butler is out.
No, center. Center got off.
You got those shoulder pads off, you're not going back in
That's
the game, and that is a devastating blow because we talked about how quick he comes off the edge. Can make some substitutions. Michael Botterill's on the roster, and Patrick Dorvalis can play in the linebacker core as well.
Alouettes had to settle for a field goal. DJ Flick has trouble, and there'll be no return for the Tiger Cats here. They'll begin inside the 20. Patrick Dorvalis leading the tacklers for the Alouettes there. And the story from the Tiger Cat bench. Here's Claude Fagg.
Congratulations to our fan in box B.
Not apparently suffering from a little bit of cramping up on the legs when he came off the sidelines. He was just trying to stretch things out. He may likely come back into the game soon, guys.
Johnny Scott was the injured Tiger Cat on the previous sequence. So now, let's see if the Hamilton offense can put it together here. Trailing by a touchdown, there have been opportunities for the Tiger Cats. Troy Davis, over 100 yards in the first half. Not much running room there. Maybe a couple.
Second down,
Montreal Alouettes to replace Dwayne Butler will go with Michael Botterill. He comes in and played his college football not far from here. Master.
2nd and 9. Intercepted, picked out at the 35. 4th interception, and Strickland has it. Timothy Strickland. 2nd interception of the season. So McManus, throwing into tight coverage down there, has fired up 4 now.
Big play.
Talked about their versatility. Timothy Strickland. He's going to be in a trail position. He comes across the middle, so if you're in a trail position, the ball has to be thrown perfectly to Archie Amerson, and Danny McManus realizes immediately that it wasn't.
I love you. We're doing it.
So the Tiger Cats hand it back to the Alouettes right at the 35.
And this is where it happens if you play the Montreal Alouettes.
A quick strike offense. O'Neal Wilson flanks to the far side. 3 other receivers out there. Calvillo goes back against the flow. Makes the connection for a couple of yards for Lapointe. Eric Lapointe.
This has been a physical game, John. Donovan Carter came down and sliced through there to cut down Eric Lapointe. Carter involved on a hit earlier on Ben Cahoon. Had to leave the game for a play. He hit Cahoon so hard he knocked himself out for a bit. There's a couple of guys limping around down there right now because of the violence that's going on.
2nd and 9. Flags down. Calvillo will get a first down if the penalty is not against Montreal. It's Ben Cahoon again.
Sure it is. It was 2nd down, right?
It was 2nd and 9.
Yeah, I call Kevin Johnson Mr. Agap. Call him Mr. 2nd down. Mr. 2nd down conversion.
Hamilton, number 53, decline.
They'll take the first down. Montfort was a step ahead.
There's Ben Cajon. He's going to end up on that crossing pattern. You see how now they put him on 4 receiver side, and they're going to play man on that side. Awful tough to just pick up who you have, let alone get in proper position. And having said that, Bernard Cox wasn't too far off.
Heck of a pass from Anthony Calvillo for the first down. Now at the Tiger Cats 23. Another strike. And another first down to about the 11. Autry Denson this time.
John, another different formation for the Montreal Alouettes. They try to change things up, surprise Hamilton. Anwar Stewart, defensive lineman, went on as a tight end on that last play and actually ran a corner route. Talk about having a team of versatile athletes. How about that? If a defensive lineman, who by the way has a sack and also 3 interceptions, and now he plays tight end and runs a pattern on the last play. Now they didn't throw it to him because he was covered.
Couple of interceptions went for touchdowns for this guy as well. Anwar Stewart. First down, end zone toss. It's loose. No catch.
That's Rob Hitchcock's zone there. That's his area.
Kwame Cavill went up and couldn't bring it down.
See, when you're playing with 42 on your team, then you know that from here to the other one over there, the hash mark, that's his territory. And the good free safeties in the league make sure receivers know it's your territory. So catch it or don't catch it, he's going to hit you.
Still a little upset, I'm sure, over the diving interception he made that didn't count. 2nd and 10 Alouettes.
He's coming on the blitz.
Calvillo under the cover. They won't get to the end zone. Kwame Cavill.
Hamilton trying to go with Rob Hitchcock this time. He makes the play on the hit, the previous one, and now this time they tries to sneak up and time the blitz, but it's picked up well by the Montreal Alouettes.
Alouettes stopped again.
Bruno Happel picked it up nicely in the hole, allowed Anthony Calvillo to get it out there, but he couldn't throw it for enough for the first down.
So another field goal. Matt Kellett called upon to make this one from the 11. Make it the 12. Oh, some movements. And let's see who.
Wow, it won't matter. In fact, it's probably better for Kellett. You know,
a better angle at it.
Yeah. When
from the 12, it's tougher, right?
When you get right in there tight, it becomes a pretty sharp angle from the hash marks.
Procedure. 61 Montreal. Decline.
Yeah, so that's why.
Well,
Hamilton declines it so they can keep that angle out there. I mean, this is a no problem chip shot, but it's kind of tough. You got to try and cut it inside that corner. The right-footed kicker has a tendency to pull it when you get in tight.
He's got it. Matt Kellett hits another one, a chip shot there, and it's a 10-point lead for the Alouettes. Ivor Wynn and Hamilton, the Tiger Cats hanging in against the front-running Montreal Alouettes. First down, Owls at the 41. Montreal leading by 10, less than a minute to go in the third quarter. Calvillo has Cahoon. Another first down, just slipped away from the tackle made by Jamonte Battle. But John, this is a great combination, isn't it? 13 to 26.
Yeah, and John, you just get the feeling that this football team, the Alouettes, they're a machine. They just keep doing what they do well. They go back to the well all the time, and even when you know they're throwing to Ben Cahoon, you can't stop them. They are a finely tuned machine.
Autry Denson, and that's enough for a first down. They're very close to it.
Going to be a penalty.
Flag is up.
It's going to be a penalty there.
Making the tackle, and tension time here at Ivor Wynn with 2 seconds till the third quarter expires.
Scott Flory is going to get called on a late hit. I believe it was Flory who came across and hit Joe Mumford. Sort of walking over after Autry Denson went down.
Late hit. Here's a look.
Well, this is Autry Denson, and Carter comes in late there, but Scott Fleury on Joe Mumford was just walking over, and then you got that one. So which one they pick, we'll have to wait and see.
After the first down was gained, major foul, Hamilton, number 2.
Late hit.
Montreal, major foul, Hamilton, or Montreal, number 6. First down.
That was the retaliation, and they let Fleury's go.
So they'll saw off the penalties, but the story is the Alouettes get the first down.
Yeah, well, all that happened after first down yardage was gained, yeah.
So this should be the last play of the third quarter. But the Alouettes on top by 10, 23-13. First down, Montreal. Calvillo, quick toss, and that'll be another Alouette first down. Copeland making the catch, and he's inside the Tiger Cat 35. Fourth quarter coming right up.
Amazing when you have this, usually turns into this, and when you add it up, that 10 is usually the deficit in the game, and guess what? 23-13 would be a 10-point difference.
Touchdown missed by the Tiger Cats on the opening drive of the opening quarter. Now, are you buying what Schultz is selling?
You know, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's a very good one, actually. Go with young quarterback, see if he can run around and make something happen. And again, I agree, not because of those interceptions or because it's a changeup. Why not go with Marcus Brady?
Maybe it will be determined as a result of this drive. Alouettes go to Denson, and Denson has 6 before he's tossed back. Autry Denson met Renard Cox. And
Well,
the Alouettes are going to the running game later.
after this game is over for both teams, ice will be at a premium. If you were an ice salesman right now, you'd make some money tonight because every one of those players are going to have the packs on, the ice packs all over.
Denson picked up 8, 2nd and 2. He's got it again. And he'll have the first down. Autry Denson.
No, and I heard Jack Climby talk about Montreal trying to salt this away and not becoming too conservative. And the other side of that coin, though, is that when you have a lead, albeit it's just a 10-point lead, but when you have a lead and you can control the football on the ground, you chew up more time than if you put it in the air and do what you've done to get yourself the 10-point lead.
Calvillo to the end zone. Miscommunication. Looked like Thyron Anderson was open there.
Thyron Anderson was open, but Calvillo didn't see him. He went to Bruno Happel, who had lined up as a wide receiver. And he thought he would get a mismatch out there, but the Hamilton Tiger Cats just stayed in a basic zone, so it put Bruno Happel, a fullback, on corner Diedrich Mathis, which is a mismatch in favor of the defense.
So this is 2nd and 10, Alouettes. O'Neal Wilson to the far side. Anderson flanks to the near side. And there's early movement down there. Breeze is picking up a little bit on this Wendy's Friday night.
Procedure. Montreal 53. Still 2nd down.
Zumo KK called on that one, and Joe Mumford's had a couple of offside calls because he's taken off so quickly. And this time Zumo KK having to try and catch up with Joe Mumford, moves a little quickly.
So Mumford set him up. Tiger time right now. Trailing by 10. Calvillo. Strike on the far side. O'Neal Wilson has the ball. He was met almost immediately. Saunders was out there. And again, Tiger Cat defense Keeps the Alouettes out of the end zone.
Cavis Reed has a team that's been prepared. They've done well. I mean, you can't keep the Montreal Alouettes completely off the scoreboard. John Climby mentioned it early. You don't stop them, you just try and control them.
Cahoon puts it down. Kellett puts it through. Add 3 more to the Alouettes total. And the quarterback, Mr. Calvillo, has played extremely well. Here's McManus. Intercepted. That's the 5th. Barrett Miles.
Flag deep in the backfield, John, in the defensive backfield. See what this flag is. Ball well overthrown. Barrett Miles playing the safety position. Couldn't start the season due to injury with William Loftus, but talk about having versatility on your defense. He's another good example of it, because Barrett Miles can go down and cover as a halfback or a corner.
Might be against Montreal here as we look at this a little more closely.
Well, this may even out then, because Rob Hitchcock had a interception taken back.
Pass interference. Montreal, number 8. First down.
So that's 4 interceptions on the board for McManus. And a huge first down for the Tiger Cats, trailing 26-13.
Reggie Durden's been doing a little clutching and grabbing on Archie Emerson all game long and has got away with it until then.
Here are the Tiger Cats out near midfield. They go back to the run game. And Filion was there to meet Troy Davis.
Oh, was he ever? I mean, you know, and this is the area of this defense that probably doesn't get enough credit. Rob Brown may be the most underrated interior defensive lineman, and him along with Ed Filion together as a tandem may be the best in the league, and they have to be good to allow the outside guys to get all the stats they get.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Morelli went up, couldn't get it. This one is picked up. It's Durden, who waited for it to come down. Emerson had a hand on it. And McManus has now officially thrown 5. So the Alouettes keep coming. And Durden has the latest interception.
Crossing patterns, Mike Morelli here, and Archie Emerson in the second layer, right through the hands of Morelli there. That ball's tipped up. 9 times out of 10, defense takes it the other way.
That might be it for McManus for this one anyway. Calvillo, what a catch there. Calvillo has Cavill, and there are lots of weapons on this Alouette team, are there not?
Wow, Kwame Cavill, that's some kind of catch, and you know, this kind of catch for a lot of teams you get once or twice maybe, and the Montreal Alouettes just make it look so routine, and that's what's scary about this football team.
Tiger Cat defense has held the Alouettes to field goals on the last 3 tries, however. And they'll put Montreal in 2nd and long again here. Autry Denson had nowhere to go. McManus has tossed it up 5 times tonight. Not all have been his faults, but here they go.
That was early. Mark Magnus surprised him dropping back there.
Underthrown there. Wobbly here.
Reggie Durden on that one.
Nice play there.
Tim Strickland, and then that was the tip drill, not McManus's fault on the 5th one.
2nd and 11. Calvillo steps up, fires, has Cahoon.
He's going to be very close. He's taken some big hits tonight too, and jumped back up. Ben Cahoon
Needed 11. Here's a look.
Bunch of big catches for Cahoon on 2nd down, and saw how deep Anthony Calvillo dropped. got into about the 9-step drop range, and he took a big hit down at the bottom of that one too. And Cahoon's taking a bunch of these. Just jumps back up, does lunch pail, then his hard hat, gets back in the huddle.
7th catch for Cahoon tonight. First down for the Alouettes. 9:10 to go. Not an insurmountable lead for Montreal as it stands right now.
No, but this field goal try, unless, well, if it's a major, it's a big difference. But a field goal try is the crucial one, because at 13 points, you're that 2-score strike.
2 scores to win.
Right. You put another 3 on the board, you're now at 3 scores.
Tiger Cat defense has to get some credit for this one tonight against the Alouettes.
You know, they played well, John, but what they haven't done,
They haven't turned it over. They haven't gotten the ball back, but they have stopped Montreal, or at least limited Montreal to field goals. Calvillo.
Yeah, and credit Montreal once again. I mean, they do it game in, game out, week in, week out. They control the football. They dictate the pace of the game. They have, and that's why they're pushing for 6-0 start to the season. Because on defense they attack you, and on offense they control the football. They often dominate the time of possession, and they simply just don't turn it over that very often. That's why they're a +15 in the giveaway takeaway, and that's why they're 5-0 coming in.
18 interceptions on the season for this Montreal defense. Calvillo down to the 5. What a catch. Another beautiful catch as the Alouette drive continues. Copeland 2 touchdowns already, and he sets up another one right here.
Some of the defensive linemen for the Hamilton Tiger Cats stopped because they thought they were going to get an offside call and it was going to be whistled dead. So they didn't continue through, but Anthony Calvillo did, and so did Jermaine Copeland, who makes another tough catch look routine.
Almost 100 yards. He has the 2 touchdowns. And this could salt it away for the Alouettes. 3 cracks at it here from the 4. Remember where the Tiger Cats were going to this end zone in the very first sequence of the game, first quarter. They missed their touchdown, settled for 3. Here's Calvillo. He'll take it himself. Anthony Calvillo.
Well, John, they just wore him down, and Cavis Reed obviously upset because that was just, it wasn't a big catch. It was just that his defense is worn down and it ran out of gas.
There's the expression, Cavis Reed.
You knew that was going to score, didn't you?
Anthony Calvillo adds 1 more to his own score sheet. 4-yard touchdown. Nice little dipsy doodle in the end zone. DJ Flick has it go by him. And it's time to surrender.
Remember early, John, I talked about how Hamilton's defense appeared at times to be confused. Watch Donovan Carter and Tim Cheatwood here look at each other before this touchdown. They're not sure what their responsibilities are, and they're talking. You can't take your game to the next level. And then when Cheatwood gets out there, he's not really sure if he should take Autry Denson or Anthony Calvillo, and that's what frustrates the defensive coordinator, Cavis Reed. It was happening in the first half, and you just knew it would come back and catch him somewhere along the way.
Anthony Calvillo had a run like that earlier in the game. So it's time for the Tiger Cats to look at something new. For now, Marcus Brady comes in 16 of 28 in his season so far. And a procedure situation happens
Once again,
on his first down of the night. 7:53 to go in the final quarter here at Iverwood. Danny McManus log.
Hamilton 68, still first down.
13 of 30, that's not good. 188, that's not good. 5 interceptions, that's a tough night. against the great defense.
A tough night against a team that has done it to everybody they've played this year. And that's where the credit has to go. It has to go to a defense that just will not let up, is relentless, is dominant.
Here's Marcus Brady. His pass batted down.
John, the last team to have any success against the Montreal Alouettes defense was last year's Grey Cup champion Edmonton Eskimos. And you know what? There's been some personnel changes on this defense to make it even better, because they were pretty good last year. Edmonton had some success, but now they've made a few changes. Kelly Malvo comes over. That helps them in the secondary. They move Baron Miles to safety. So they're better back there.
There are flags flying from every direction on the coverage on that.
Well, they'll call Reggie Durden on interference there. Archie Amerson was trying to cut back to the middle.
One other personnel change that the Alouettes have made, Almondo Curry.
Pass interference.
Yeah, that's a good one.
8. First down.
In that secondary again, he's the rookie out there.
He's on the corner, and he was the defensive player of last week for 2 interceptions, 2 knockdowns, and a couple of tackles.
You know, and when you talk to Montreal Alouettes and talk to some of the players, and Jim Popp had a conversation with, and they just love the game. I mean, he is brought in a bunch of players that they enjoy this game so much that when they get in practice, some teams go to practice and it's like, okay, we got to go to work. It's a work day. We got to go to work. We got to, you know, it's going to be hard work. And no one's real excited. But these guys go to practice and they fly around and make plays in practice.
Like Magna did there on Davis.
And then that old cliche comes in, is that you play as you practice. And that's what the Montreal Alouettes do. They keep coming. Teams have been close. The Calgary Stampeders were tied after 3 quarters against them.
Still second down.
Ticats kept it close enough, almost through 3 quarters, at least till halftime.
But that's what they do. And they practice hard, but they have fun out there practicing, and they make plays, and then they come on the field, and those big plays they make become second nature.
This is 2nd and 15 for the Tiger Cats. It's Marcus Brady at the controls. Brady has Amerson. That was a nice toss on a rope. Right, so the Tiger Cats move it here.
Take a look at the throwing technique from Marcus Brady as he buys some time to bounce outside the pocket, and then he has to reload his shoulder. See, tough to get that much. To see here, that's where he reloads the shoulder. The off shoulder, the shoulder on his left arm points at the target. He has to swap that around, get it pointed at Archie Amerson, and throws a strikeout there.
23-yard gain.
But
Troy Davis.
But John, this is what I'm talking about. Jim Popp has created a team over the years in Montreal that they go out and practice together and play hard. And what he does is he brings in players that fit the system. A lot of people, when they are building a team, they find the best athletes they can, and then they sign them. That's not what Jim Popp does necessarily. And Anwar Stewart was singing around the practice roster in Calgary. But Jim Popp, from his coaching experience, knew one thing. He would fit in this system. He would work in what the Montrealers want to do.
And he was a first-team All-Star last year. Brady is wrapped up.
And there's Anwar Stewart. Now, John, another good example of what I'm talking about with Jim Popp is Dwayne Butler. And Dwayne Butler was cut from the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Jim Popp looked at Dwayne Butler and thought, you know, this is a good athlete. And this is an athlete that we could use because he would fit in our system. Now, he didn't finish the game today, but we all know what Dwayne Butler has done coming off the edge. So Jim Popp's coaching background helps him as a general manager to find talent, because he doesn't just go to find talent, he finds talent based on the system. Some scouts don't even know what system's being run on their team. They just go get athletes.
Now the Alouettes get to Brady here. That's Marcus Brady, and he is the latest injury. Stewart is there, but before that, Tito Simpson, number 96, got to the Tiger Cat quarterback with 5:18 to play. The Alouettes are in control, leading at 34-13. It's Wendy's Friday Night Football. McManus on first down has DJ Flick. 2:46 left, and Flick is stopped well short of a first down. We'll check out the game story brought to you by Sport Check, proud supporter of the CFL.
Copeland in the first half, a touchdown in the first quarter, touchdown in the second quarter. Calvillo, another big game, fourth 300-yard game of the season.
We watched Troy Davis pick up 100 yards in the first half, and then Danny McManus struggles a bit. At times, 5 interceptions, 8 in the last 2 games. So he's off form. Is that a catch and a drop?
No.
No.
Incomplete pass.
I thought maybe he'd taken a step. That was Tunkara.
Complete to Tunkara. Third down, Tiger Cats.
Another workmanlike game for the Montreal Alouettes. 4 points at the half. They expect to win every time out, so it never phases them if a team gets close or makes a couple big plays. They just come up and do what they do the next down.
Third down, and the Tiger Cats gamble again on third and a bunch here. Not much left to do except pick up a first down, and they'll get the first down. Tunkara hangs on.
You know, the Ticats can be proud of a couple of things that happened tonight. One, defensively, they played pretty well. They didn't turn the ball over, which would have helped that offense, but they did give the offense a chance to win this game. That's one thing Greg Marshall can be proud of. You also want to improve on what's been a weakness going into a game, and they did that on special teams. Their cover teams on Ezra Landry was much improved in this game.
Absolutely. So 2 phases work.
2 phases improved over the last 2 weeks, and he just couldn't get the big plays out of his offense, which is a broken record when you're talking about playing against the Montreal defense.
Penalty goes against the Alouettes, so the Tiger Cats line up inside the 40 with a first down. McManus throws up number 6. Almondo Curry had a couple last week. He's got 1 more tonight.
This is the next level, and this is why they're so good, John, is that Almondo Curry is the rookie in the lineup, and yet he's doing things that veterans do. He falls up. So he's counting on Reggie Durden, and then Almondo Curry makes a veteran move, drops underneath that for the interception, and that's when you know you're at the highest level.
6 interceptions for Danny McManus after such a hot start for the veteran Tiger Cat quarterback. Another tough night at the office.
Hey, tell him appreciate for the interception, man. I'm gone. Holla. Hey.
Almondo Curry, Defensive Player of the Week for a couple of interceptions, a couple of knockdowns, and a couple of tackles last week. 2:15 to go. The Alouettes begin this at the 7. Calvillo stays in there. Not much left to prove for Calvillo. Autry Denson there. Well, it's Friday night.
Yeah, buddy.
It's gladiator time.
Kevin Johnson tonight. John, Emperor Augustus said, fortune favors the brave. You have to be brave to play against him because he's fearless. Kevin Johnson tonight is our gladiator.
Folks, live on Friday Night Football, you got the Gladiator 44 and my Stingy D, Alouettes #1. Now we 6-0. Yeah! Holla.
Thank you, Kevin Johnson, for wrapping that up nicely.
I think he tied a nice big red ribbon around that one, didn't he? How did he know he was the gladiator?
Well, he played like one. It was probably a good guess on his part. No, we whispered to him that he just...
Boy, I tell you, hey, another day at the office, baby.
And that's really how they play. Another day at the office.
This is Coach.
Denson, and they'll string him up.
But, John, this game was physical. And for the fans that came down here, and the atmosphere was great, and all the spy vision and all the things that were going on with binoculars being handed out and accusations of taping coaches and all that stuff. Ton of hype for the fans. They had a bunch of fun. And, boy, in this game, more than any I've covered in this 2004 season, there was some hitting. I mean, this was a hugely violent game from start to finish.
Incredible intensity from the Tiger Cats in a losing cause. 34-13 on the scoreboard. It was a little closer not that long ago. But Calvillo stands in and fires like that. Copeland again with a couple of touchdowns already.
First down, Montreal.
And you wonder why Calvillo is still playing catch out there with the lead that he does have.
And
as a matter of fact, you wonder why Calvillo's still out there.
Yeah, that would be the question. Why is he out there? And you're gonna throw a backup on there, and then you can do those things so that he can get some reps throwing the football. Sometimes, you know, you play this Montreal Alouette team, though, they don't just beat you, they beat you down.
Now they'll take some time off the clock, only 41 seconds remaining. Well, the more you win, the bigger the target you present. And Don Matthews and the Alouettes have won 6 in a row. That means that other teams will come a little harder over the next 12 weeks of this CFL season.
And here's the thing. We have the game next week in the doubleheader, Montreal and BC, and Montreal has struggled in BC.
And how about the way the Lions played last night in Winnipeg? That was a pretty
big win for them. Big win for the BC Lions. And Montreal, the last 2 years, has lost. Remember Damon Allen throwing from his own end zone to Alfred Jackson to beat Montreal in 2002 when they were looking and talking about a perfect season. So, it'll be an interesting game to see the 6-0 Alouettes go in there to the BC Lions.
Somebody is going to beat the Alouettes before this regular season is over.
You don't think they can run the table?
I don't think they can run the table. I don't think you can run the table in today's CFL. 18 grueling weeks. And every once in a while there has to be a letdown, but it's not tonight for Don Matthews and these Alouettes.
One of the players will likely clip out what you just